So once you have all the pieces sorted onto different plates, then it's going to be time to make blocks. And these blocks are sewn one at a time. Don't try to strip piece all the blocks at a time. It'll get really confusing. And it probably wouldn't be the end of the world because these are random looking and improvisational, but just stick to one block at a time, then you'll be able to follow the pattern and the layout. So to make this block, we're going to make 5 different units. So we have the trapezoid pieces, square pieces, and the small rectangles and the big rectangles. So out of the 5 units, each unit is going to have one large rectangle. So I'll lay those out. There's one for each. Then each unit is going to have 2 small triangles. And I would just mix these randomly, but making sure that I don't put the same color into the same unit. So I wouldn't put these 2 together, but I could put that one there, and this one there. And it really doesn't matter. Don't overthink it. Just kind of throw the pieces out. And then these 3 units, so 3 of the units are going to have one each of the trapezoid units and the square units. And you can just try and give some variety in the colors, but don't overthink that. Just try and looks okay. And then on these 2 units, they're each going to have one of these. So you have one square and one trapezoid left over. One is going to go with one set and the other one's going to go with the other set. So I will put those like that. And then just take a little look and see if the colors look balanced between the pieces. And so this one, obviously this dark color, it really stands out. And so just make sure that's kind of balanced around, and this looks okay. Now for each of these units, one at a time, I'm going to take them and just mix up the order of the pieces. We don't want them to be all the same order. So don't overthink it. That's why some people, when they try improv piecing, that's the problem, is that you really overthink it. And so that's why I boiled this down to the only improv random thing you have is taking these 5 pieces and putting them in random order. So you're not trying to go random with a whole big quilt or with a lot of things, because that can be overwhelming for some people, not to name any names, but some people like myself who have problems with doing random and spontaneous. They really want structure and a plan. So this is improv piecing for people who like a plan. So I'll take these 5 and I'll mix these up a bit. And it doesn't matter with these if you have the same colors touching. So let's say with this one, this is the pink and then this is pink. That's going to look fine. In the end, it'll look like a bigger pink piece. And then on these ones, same thing. We'll just kind of mix them up into random order. Okay, so once you have those just in random orders, then we're going to join these into units. So these, we're just going to stitch with a 1/4 inch seam. If when you're stitching them together, pieces get mixed up, like let's say these 2 got mixed up in a different order, that's really okay because they are in random order. So don't worry too much. Just try and keep these in the units because we want these to be the right length when they're done. So I'm going to take these to the sewing machine and join these pieces. So join all the pieces together before you do any pressing. And just before we press, I'm going to look at the layout and see what I think. These pieces that have 5 units in them, they are going to finish at 8 inches long. And so these are going to go in a row, and then these pieces are going to go like this on the side. So kind of lay them out and just see what you think of all the color placement. Then it looks just kind of spread out and pretty balanced. Now I can see on this piece in the middle, some of these pieces got switched around as I was joining them. That's fine. It's not going to affect how the quilt turns out. But I think in general, I think that layout looks fine. So now I'm going to take these to the ironing board and press them. And in the units, we're going to press all the seams in the same direction. So on these pieces, this piece, I'm going to press all the seams in that direction. In the middle one, I'm going to press the seams in the other direction. And in this one, back in the same direction as the first one. And that will help these 3 as they lay together. There won't be any seams lining up. And then these ones, I'm going to press them all in the same direction, whichever one, it doesn't matter. Now that they're pressed, I'm going to take one last look at the layout and see if there's anything that I want to change. And I think that looks fine like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to join them together. Again, don't overthink it or spend a lot of time agonizing about if you should put these in the other direction. If you're really struggling, just sew it together and go for it. Because when it's all together with other blocks in the large quilt, it's not going to make a huge amount of difference. Each block has all the same pieces and all the same colors, so it is going to go together in a cohesive whole. So once these 2 units have been made, we're going to give them a good press, and then we're going to join these 2 together. So don't worry too much about trying to exactly follow the layout of this block, because it's the process that's going to make the block. Each block is going to be different. Don't try and make them all the same. Just put the random pieces in there and then see how it turns out. That's part of the fun of it, is seeing all the different blocks, that they're different, but because of the pieces and because of the process, there are similarities that will add unity to the quilt. So here's the block. It's all finished. We're going to repeat this process for as many blocks as you have in the layout that you've chosen, and then it's going to be time to add the sashing and the borders.